Hi, this is Emma Burford from Business Rocks, and I'm absolutely thrilled that you can join us here today, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. Thank you so much for coming along to our live hangout with Kerri Walker, our PR expert, where we'll be sharing lots of information on PR, and Kerri will also be running through a great presentation. Now, Kerri is one of our Business Rocks niche experts, and she's been sharing her public relations and marketing consultancy business in the UK for a number of years now. And she likes to work with female entrepreneurs just like you. So if you have a small business and you're looking for some PR help and you want to raise your profile, then Kerri's the girl to go to. So I'm going to be sharing Kerri's presentation with you in a moment. But in the meantime, if you're watching on or if you're looking at the Facebook app, if you can let us waiting to go on to the presentation. So I'm going to pass you over to Kerri now, and she's going to share her great presentation, and we'll be scooping up all the questions at the end for you. So don't be shy, pop your questions in the box on the Facebook app page, and we'll be answering those at the end.
Hi, Kerri. Hello. Right, let me just double check. Yes, here we go. Can you see that okay, Emma? Just double check before I start talking.
Yeah. That's absolutely fine. That's come up perfectly now, so you're on big screen. Yeah, over to you, Kerri. I'm going to mute myself so I don't bounce back in.
Lovely, thank you, Emma. And hi, everybody. Hello. Thanks again so much for joining us. It's always great when people take time out of their day, their evening, so I promise to make it worth your while. I'm a really big fan, actually, and a keen follower of BizRocks magazine myself, so it really was a no-brainer when I was initially approached about potentially doing a webinar together. So, like I say, really excited to chat to you tonight. So what you will learn today, so how to create titles to get your writing and your story noticed, finding topics you can confidently write about, tips for writing blogs and articles, and actually how to get your writing published. And if you've got any questions, please send them through as we go, and we'll review them at the end. And also, I'm happy to send this presentation over to anybody who wants it afterwards as well. I know there is a recording, but if you particularly want to see the slides, just let me know. So firstly, just to tell you a tiny bit about me. I know Emma did a lovely intro, but very quickly, I promise. So as you know, my name is Kerri Walker, and I kind of flirted with freelance for about 5 years before I actually took the plunge and went full time. I kind of did it around short-term work contracts through university studies, and actually took most of last year off as a maternity break, if you can call it a break. And I actually just, like I said, just went full time, like literally the 1st of January this year, just so I could work from home with the little man in tow. That's my son, obviously, not my husband. So yeah, my working life after university actually started in event management. I studied for postgrad at PGCE while I was working as well. And I actually worked in hospitality for about 12 years. And in sales and marketing for quite a few years in that as well, for hotels. And I found with all of my previous jobs, when my workplace needed that extra push for their events, or the business as a whole, this is really where I came to life. It just lit me up. I just got so excited talking about how we could get new clients, how we could bring people in. And I seemed to actually be doing what I then learned was PR. So a few years on from that, I freelance and do PR for marketing, PR and marketing, sorry, for female entrepreneurs, simply because I'm just totally drawn to them. And now more recently, actually into having clients where I don't do any of their PR for them at all. I simply show them how to do it themselves, and I absolutely love it. It's so amazing. And when I talk to clients about their PR, I'm kind of talking from experience, not just of my PR background, but also of setting up my own business, as well as those previous client successes I have. And I regularly feature in other people's blogs, as well as managing my own on my website. And you've got various other things happening in the future, including actually my first radio interview next month, which broadcasts to like 30,000 people. So I'm a little bit scared for that, but that should be fine. And that basically is me just in a nutshell. I'll tell you quick. So on to what I promised I'd share with you today, a few of my favourite nuggets of knowledge, or what I recently like to call it, so I named it Be Awesome in My Brain. So do these kind of things sound familiar to you? I know they do to a lot of people. Maybe you spend money on advertising in your brochures, but you're not really getting any new customers from it. You might see your competitor featured in your favourite industry magazine and think, oh my God, why isn't that me? Maybe you've heard of PR, but always assumed it was done by big agencies and came at a really high cost. Or maybe you're worried no one will care what you have to say. And that last one is by far like the most popular one that I hear people talking about. You know, small businesses, certainly sole traders, you know, fellow freelancers, we're often afraid no one will care what we have to say because we're so tiny. You know, we think people won't care what we have to announce because we can't compete with the bigger corporations that churn out news stories all the time, you know, and new products and all that kind of thing. And we actually don't need to compete with them. So what's the solution? It's totally a doable DIY job. And it's basically, the solution is basically just learning a few basics of how you can promote your business yourself in a smart and timely fashion that will get your name out there to potential clients. And that's both your name and your business. Now, I believe anyone can do their own PR. For people who know me, I say this all the time. I definitely believe anyone can do their own PR, and I'm on a mission to show people how to do it, how to make it relevant, affordable, and make it fun for businesses to do it, some of it themselves. You know, you can outsource some of your PR or all of it to somebody, but if you do choose to do it yourself, promoting your business really doesn't have to be that difficult, and it, as I say, it's totally doable. And firstly, what even is PR? You know, we kind of hear the letters PR, public relations, thrown around a lot, and my working in it meant I used to kind of presume everyone knew exactly what it entailed, but actually we're not always clear. So here's just a really quick, simple definition. So PR is how your company communicates with the public or media, communicating to your target audience directly or indirectly through the media with an aim to create and maintain a positive image and strong relationships with the audience. Now, I hosted a chat in a Facebook group a few weeks ago, and someone asked what the difference between PR and marketing was, and I just thought, oh my God, that is such a good question. So in really simple terms, PR is the stuff you can do or maybe get for free, like a newspaper picking up your press release, or a magazine publishing your article, or maybe being interviewed on a podcast. You know, those are all things that are fantastic exposure for your business, but haven't actually cost you anything to be involved in. For me, actually, this right now is PR. because I'm getting in front of people who maybe haven't heard of me before. Whereas marketing is the things like your newsletters, networking, and advertising and the branding side of things as well. Now, they massively go together and complement each other totally, especially on a smaller scale where we're small traders and we small businesses. Hence my doing them both for clients as well, because I love how it all fits together. And a long time ago, I tried to come up with a sentence of why people should do some PR, and I just can't say it better than this quote right here. A good PR story is infinitely more effective than a front page ad. And this was said by the wise old owl, as I call him, that is Richard Branson, and he kind of just hits the nail right on the head here. It could easily cost you like $10,000-$20,000 perhaps to advertise in a magazine, and it could cost you absolutely nothing to have your article published in that very same magazine. That's why I love PR, and this is why I love my job. To be able to find opportunities like that for people is just amazing. And as I said, why the reasons behind using PR, like I said, the media coverage can be free, and you can use it to grow awareness of your business. Maybe you just want to find new clients, you're recruiting, you want to move into a new market, or investors, any of those kind of things. PRs, it's all about raising your profile, getting your face and your name out there in your industry and in front of your potential clients. The more people see your name, the more you get in their heads, and they'll start to remember you. If you keep seeing a name pop up after literally just a few times, you will naturally be intrigued by them and want to know more or read more about them. Credibility. Any media coverage you get shows you as a thought leader in your field. Often some people don't really need PR to make them famous, or they don't want it to particularly make them famous. It's literally to add the credentials to their website so potential clients can see where they've been published and what they've been doing. And that could be what sways someone to buy from you. So it really is powerful. And more sales, because you get in front of your potential clients, and who doesn't want to find new customers and make more money? My favorite way of showing people how to do their PR, and as a good start, is starting with writing blogs and articles. This can be managing your own website or blog, or maybe provide a guest blog or an article for somebody else's blog or magazine or anything like that. And there is differences between the two. I won't sort of go into it too much, but blogs often are a little bit shorter. You'll find these a lot, social media, top tips, advice, and all that kind of thing. And articles are often a little bit longer. There could be statistics, maybe your industry's released a report or something like that. There's just slight differences between the two. Most people start with blogging using the awesome in their brain to create fantastic tips and advice pieces for websites they actually follow themselves. And if you're looking at being visible on search engines and increase your credibility that I just spoke about, you create that foundation for relationships with your readers. I definitely recommend starting with blogging. It's easy for people to share your content, comment on your posts, and subscribe to hear more from you. Often people really struggle with how to create topics they can talk about, even if you know your zone of genius. Once you've got a couple of ideas, you literally won't be able to stop. They will just keep flowing. So I recently personally just did an exercise a couple of months ago now, and I literally went off on one and created about 200 blog titles, which felt absolutely crazy looking at like 4 pages of A4 that I'd written. But they're all going to be massively useful to people. Each and every one was had a really, really strong yeah, they were just all brilliant. And I know they will be massively useful to people. And if I did one every week, that's like 4 years worth of blogs just from one brainstorm. So how you can create some topic ideas for your business, you know, what do people ask you all the time? Now, people often say that when they start talking about what you could write about. You know, it could be what your clients ask you and things like that. But a really good way of looking at it also is, what do your friends and family always ask you or come to you with? What problems or what things do they always want your advice on? You know, anything can be related back to business or back to whatever you're doing. You know, just as an example, this week I wrote a blog on my website called Become a Grandmother to Your Follower, or to your following, sorry. And that was basically inspired by my grandmother. I was staying at her house and I randomly saw her in the kitchen. I gave her a hug and said, "I really love you, Mum." And that was it. And I literally just walked off. And then I went back to the desk 5 minutes later and there was a glass of Bailey's on my desk. And you know, that was just because obviously I showed that act of kindness. And it just kind of got me thinking, you know, wow, you know, if you can do that with your following, your clients, you know, they will in turn then, you know, reward you with their loyalty. They probably won't bring you a glass of Bailey's, but, you know, it's the same kind of thing. You know, anything can be related back to your business. Another really, really, really good tip is popular phrase. So this is when you go into Google or YouTube, you type in a few words and it brings up loads of potential sentences. Now, I used to think that was really annoying, but when I learnt this tip like a few months ago now, not a few months ago, ages ago now, but it was really, really useful. So if I perhaps wanted to see what people wanted to write about, perhaps I could literally go into Google and type how to write a, and it would bring up perhaps how to write a business plan, or how to write a marketing strategy, or how to write a press release. You know, anything like that could be right at the top. And those at the top are really what you want to be writing about. Often people kind of think, well, if they're the popular phrases, there must be loads of things already written. And yes, that's true. But that's because there's so many people searching for it and there's so many people that want to read it. So there's always space for your blog as well. And also you can kind of have a look at what your competitors are doing. I wouldn't spend too much time doing that. That's not about copying or anything. It's literally just to kind of keep up to date, you know, in your industry and just have a look at what other people are doing. And also your clients, you know, you might get a feel for what they are struggling with if your clients run a blog and they're often, you know, posting advice themselves and things. And also keep up with industry news. You know, if there's an event, you know, a big conference and a big debate is there, you know, you can write about that. So many things you can write about. Try and find, as I said, the problems that maybe it could be random people, the public, your current clients, your ideal customers have. No matter how simple you think the solution is, and it often really, really is so simple, there will always be someone that needs to read your article. I guarantee, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what your business is, there will be people with problems that need solving that you can help with. I truly believe anyone can write an article or a blog post because we all have an interest, or we're all passionate about something, and that passion, that excitement, whether that's business or personal, you know, it massively comes out in your writing. Sorry, my computer froze for some reason. Sorry about that, guys. Right, so creating topics and articles. So you can write out tips, how-tos. These are by far the highest shared. You always see these articles online. Perhaps if you are looking at what topics you can write and there is a lot of questions that people come to you with, you can video an answer to the question. You can review something, comment, like I just said, about recent industry news, something has happened, or perhaps view a research study or a statistic that's come out. So just a few ideas for the actual titles. So just to give you some examples here, if you perhaps have, maybe you're a mum blogger, or you have a parent-child business or blog or anything like that, you could write about the 10 ways to survive that first month as a new mum. How to get your toddler to sleep through the night in 5 simple steps. 3 ways to finally get your child to stay in their own bed all night. Now, you can see what I've done in the titles here. Not only am I saying what the title is, so 10 ways to or 5 simple steps, but I'm making it really specific and ensuring it resonates with people by using the first month of a new mom and your toddler and finally and all night, because anyone in those situations are going to be like, they're going to be so itching to read these to help solve their massive problems. Another example, if you have an interior design business, or you might sell home decor, crafts, anything like that, you could write 3 things to make your bathroom relaxing as well as functional, how to wake up happy in your bedroom every day, why orange actually is the new black. So that's a play on words here from the TV show, Orange is the New Black, which I love, by the way. And you can talk about fun autumnal orange colours for the home. 5 ways redecorating your home office will make you more money. So when people work from home, I feel like we're at work and not always at home. That makes you more productive, therefore will make you more money. It's a really simple basis of a blog post or an article, but it has that title that will really lure people in. And I work from home, so personally, if I saw that title, I would no doubt want to read the rest of it. If you write diet, well-being, wellness, you could perhaps write 4 diet myths uncovered, how to create a diet plan when you have no time to stick to one, 10 ways to avoid cabin fever when you work from home, and the secrets to really lose that baby weight. Now, you can relate anything to other audiences, so even if you work in nutrition, we can immediately bring that back into the business audience by tapping into their work habits. So, the cabin fever, working from home. And again, it's getting specific by using the phrase, create a diet plan when you have no time to stick to one. We're busy people, most of us don't have time, so we want shortcuts that will still create results. So that will get people interested. And so you've got your topics, you've got your titles, what do you do with them? So once you've got an idea of what you can write about, now it's actually taking some time out to write it and just do it. Give away the awesome in your brain. Now, this is an opportunity to showcase your expertise. By no means do you have to give everything away for free, I hear that a lot, but you can still give away really, really good free stuff. Keep everything full of such valuable information and just no sales pictures of your latest product. Your writing will speak for itself and you will sell yourself just by giving awesome advice. Set aside some time to write too. Shut yourself away or go to a noisy cafe. whatever works for you to get in that creative space. I read about someone recently who actually goes to a hotel one night a month to just write for 24 hours. Plus they like live it up in a hotel and sit in the sauna. So it's kind of a writing retreat. I just thought that was such an amazing idea. Like if I didn't have a toddler, I would be all over this and be doing this too. And once you've written something, sleep on it. This is so important. Never send your article literally, at midnight, straight after you've written it, to an editor. Review it with fresh eyes the next day, or better yet, if you can, get a friend or colleague or somebody else to read it for you. And that kind of goes for most things you write too. I actually do that with proposals to new clients as well. It's really important to sort of take a few hours away from it and then look at it with fresh eyes, because often I just kind of think, oh my gosh, how on earth did I write this? And I'll redo it. So it's a really, really good tip. And it's really important to know what deadlines you're working to. So perhaps you promised something to someone by date. Don't miss the deadline and upset an editor. And if you're not keen on writing, it might work for you to maybe write lots of content in one go. So maybe write 3 blog posts together, or whisk yourself off to a hotel for undisturbed writing time, like I just mentioned. Just find whatever weird and wonderful way that works best for you, and just embrace it and love it and just go with it. Put yourself in the right space, surround you by whatever and whoever makes you happy, and the writing will 100% just come. Always add a biography at the end of your article too. If you're writing something in Word, just put it right at the bottom. A nice little photo and a bio, keeping it short to maybe about 50 to 70 words. That's usually enough. And as I said, a photo, so a nice headshot. And if you are doing that in Word, it's really good to also attach your headshot separately if you're emailing it off to somebody. So you write your email, and then you attach the article, which has probably got your bio at the bottom anyway, but also attach your headshot as well. It just saves that back and forth when you edit to you when they want to ask for a copy of it. And also, website and your links as well. Maybe you've got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of those. They probably won't publish all of them, but it's just really, really good to put them in there. If people really like what you've written, they need to have a way to be able to connect with you and stand out too. If it's in your personality to say something funny, or say something random about your personality in your bio, then do it. It makes people remember you, and that's fine. And now you've written your article, or you've got a handful of awesome titles ready to rock, what can you do with them? So you can start pitching them to journalists straight away. And this is probably one of my favorite DIY PR tip, because in theory it is so unbelievably easy, and the results it makes for you is just incredible, I promise you. You may have heard the features list, or often it's called forward features, something like that. And this is a list of all the upcoming features a journalist or a publication will be writing about in the near future. It might just be next month, or it could be the next year, depending on how organised and how they work. And it can literally be as informal as a Word document, or they might just put it in the body of an email. And they may just send you over a few topics or article titles that their magazine will publish in the next, like I said, the next few months or year or whatever it is. And before you start contacting people, think about who you want to target. Getting the press coverage itself might be free, but your time definitely is not. It really isn't. So make sure you target relevant publications that match what your company is trying to achieve, and it just kind of, it fits. So for instance, if you're, an Ann Summers rep, you're probably not going to ring the Lady magazine or something like that. It might be a good fit for them. I'm not sure. I don't know. But you know, from first thought, it's probably not a good fit. And use the phone. We kind of think, I don't know, you know, all the technology, it's so easy to tweet, to email and all this kind of thing. But it really is so beneficial just to pick up the phone to somebody. You know, I often try and just use email to follow up a phone conversation. You know, it's really good to get to know the writers and the journalists, because they will definitely start to remember your name, because they get inundated with emails. So if you've taken the time out to ring them, they will definitely remember you. And when you're on the phone to them, ask them what they're writing about, but also, if you're able to or confident to, maybe approach them with a few of your ideas that you've already come up with. Although, you know, as a start, you know, it's fine to ask them what they're writing about if you're unsure about what exactly you can provide. And as with figuring out who, you know, which publications to target, it's really good to do some research, visit their website. You know, it could be really embarrassing to ring and say, I'm calling to see if I can provide a comment for your beauty magazine, for them to reply with, well, we're a business blog. You know, that would be embarrassing. It's happened to me, I will be honest. You know, so this is why I give the advice, you know, when you've got a long spreadsheet full of people to call, people to contact, you can get a bit lazy, but, you know, for the sake of the 2 minutes that it will take to have a look and scope them out before you call, it's definitely worth it, and you should really do it. And as I said before about your deadlines and lead times, when you have promised something to somebody, make sure you know what deadlines they're working to. If you say yes, you need to get it to them on time. And once you have this features list, have a look through and see if there's anything there that's relevant to your business, or perhaps your work history or what you're doing now, and see if there's anything there that you could contribute to. Perhaps if you're, say, a photographer and you see a title that a magazine has on their features list that says how to create the best images for your marketing material, you can now get back in touch with that journalist and say that you can provide a quote about how you think you could create the best images for marketing material, or better yet, provide the article for them. And imagine that. How amazing would that feel for your name to be in print, and it was all for free? See why I love my job. And once you've been published, once you've got a guest blog post online or an article published in a magazine, be sure to promote it, shout about it from the rooftops. You can promote it through your social media accounts and schedule some posts for the next few weeks as well. Tagging the website that it was published in is also really helpful, because often, most of the time, they will retweet and share your post as well to their followers, so it just gets you in front of so many people. And if you've got a newsletter, maybe you can add your article in there and tell your followers, your tribe, your following, where you've been published and what you're doing. And maybe use the image, put the first paragraph, and then a click here to read the full article link. If you have a press page or a media coverage or similar page like that on your website, add the link in there too as well. Put it on that page for your website visitors to see your credentials too. So that's what I promised I'd show you today. So creating those titles that gets your writing noticed, finding your topics, tips for writing, and actually how to get published in magazines. I promise you, it really is that simple. Now, what was I going to say? Just going to take a sip of water.
Hi, Kerri, that was really fantastic. I need to start talking again now, because I'm getting over that coldy bug I've had, and I'm a bit today. When I stop talking, my voice goes. So Wow, that was a brilliant 40 minutes, near enough, of
bless you, thanks.
information inside there. Really enjoyed that. I've got lots of questions, but I know for those of you who are probably watching on YouTube at the moment, do hop over onto the Facebook page and add your questions in. And I know Kerri has generously added 5 days of her free 30-day PR challenge, which I've put on a button on the Facebook page. So do, oh yeah, that's a good slide there for us.
Thank you.
Go over to the Facebook page and go and sign up for that and download her 5 days of the DIY PR challenge. And what I was going to say is, for those of you who have signed up, obviously we'll be sending out the replay with a link to Kerri's challenge taster. And also, I know Kerri's got some other exciting things that she's been working on recently. So I think you can tell us a little bit about that. I mean, this webinar is really to get you all involved in your PR. So Kerri has lots of things that she can share with us. So do ask your questions, but I'll hand you back over to Kerri for a few minutes to just tell you what she's been up to, what's coming up, and then we'll go through some questions with you, Kerri. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Emma.
Great.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love putting out free content because I love sharing knowledge to help people and just show small businesses how they really can use PR and how and just making it relevant to them. Now, as Emma said, you know, the link's on the screen too. It's completely free. It's 5 days of 30-day challenge that I set up earlier in the year, and I just decided recently that to just kind of make it available to people. You know, you shouldn't. I don't want people to always have to buy to be able to access, as I said, the awesome in my brain. But also, for those of you who know me, you've probably heard me talking about the DIY PR Club. It's a program I'm launching imminently this week. And it starts at the end of October. It's basically a 6-week program for entrepreneurs to learn how to do their own PR. It literally is that, the DIY PR Club. It basically will cover so much more detail what I've gone through today, how to get your business out there. I'm going to do, as I said, 6 weeks, but it's lifetime access for all the information. You've got resources. What else? I'll be doing, instead of a live call every week, because people are all over the world and it's really hard to kind of get people at one time. So I'll just be pre-recording a Q&A session every week, and there's only 30 spaces. And because I obviously wanted to make sure that I spent enough time with everybody, and I will, at the last week, in the 6th week, I will be recording for each individual person advice, like Q&A for them, and also PR ideas specifically for their business. So I'm really, really excited to be able to do that. Goodness knows when I'm going to, you know, how I'm going to do 30 videos, but I will figure that out in due course. Yes, I'm really excited about that, and that's the DIY PR Club. So, you know, all the information is on my website. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Skype. I'm kind of everywhere. So yeah, I'll you know, happy to answer any questions or anything of that separately after today if anybody has any.
Fantastic, Kerri. That's great. Well, I will definitely follow up with your 5-day challenge. I don't know if you want to hop off the presentation now, and we can. I've got a few questions we can just run through together and share our faces and catch back up with everyone who's still watching on YouTube. So that was brilliant. Sorry, guys, still a bit here, a bit hoarse with my cold, but that was a great presentation. And as I say, lots of different thoughts on PR myself. Having the digital magazine Business Rocks, obviously it's a different kind of platform, and I look at people like Kerri and all the fantastic businesswomen who provide really good articles and blog posts and share those through the magazine app. But obviously what we're doing here is turning it around the other way, because it's those kind of people who are looking for those PR opportunities. And this is where Kerri can really kind of pull in her expertise and help you to find the right people that you could work with. So, there are very few people that you can go out and get people to do the PR for you, but to actually, a lot of people like to really try and do that themselves, especially if they like writing. So that's really good. As a beginner, Kerri, how many blog posts or articles would you suggest that people should sort of put together each month? Have you got a sort of optimum number that you think would be good for people to write up?
As in on their own website, you mean?
Yeah, or articles to submit to other avenues, whether it be magazines or guest posts even, I guess.
Yeah.
There's quite a few websites. I know we accept guest posts. A lot of people do that.
I guess with guest posts, so going on other people's websites, it just kind of depends really. It's just how involved you want to be, how much time you have to write. It's important that often people are like, oh, I want to be everywhere, and then they get too many yeses and they don't have time to then write all those articles. So when I work with some smaller clients that I have, I literally just find them one opportunity every month, and that's enough for them, and they're really happy with that, and I'm really happy because it's a really good opportunity. I kind of think that one good one every month is way better than 5 crappy ones. It's all about finding the right and the relevant. Getting in front of the right people. So it's really hard to put a number on it. I kind of just think it doesn't have to be 10 speaking opportunities and 20 blogs. It really can just be on a small scale as well.
Okay, I know I did catch your comment this week about being on Twitter for 4 years, and for many of us, for me actually, I've been on Twitter I think since 2009, 2010. In fact, going back to 2008 with an account I don't use now. But do you think people can generally find the right contacts and the right avenues to sort of market their articles on Twitter? Do you use Twitter a lot for that sort of reason, or?
I love Twitter for that reason, but literally love it. 100%. You can find the people that use Twitter, you know all about hashtags. There's so many out there, whether it's hashtag small biz hour, which is where small businesses share various things, or it might just be your local regional hour, Hampshire hour, East Midlands hour, anything like that, or just I don't know, it could just be that it's about technology. You can kind of hop onto a tech news, which is like thousands every day. So yeah, it's a fantastic tool for sharing your articles, 100%.
I heard there was a good hashtag like journo requests, but obviously that may be, it depends on your niche, doesn't it? Depends on where you're going to be, what you're actually drilling down into, who do you need to connect with, and follow those relevant hashtags. So yeah, I was just curious really, because obviously I use Twitter a lot for different things like that, marketing, and so you can flip it for PR.
And there's loads of free. The journal request is a really good one, and actually now a company have a website. I think it's at journorequest.com, and they email you all of the really good journal request things in an email, so you don't even need to go through Twitter anymore. Just all of the good ones get sent to you for free. It's incredible. It's such a good tool.
I have to pay for that one. That sounds pretty cool for people.
Yeah, really good.
Excellent. So you signed up for that one then, Kerri?
Of course.
Trade secret there, you see.
All of it.
Yeah. So you mentioned features lists. Now that's something that I just don't know if you can elaborate on that. When you say a features list, is this again something that you could be purchasing or becoming a subscriber for, or is this something that really just people like you, the PR people, know what it is?
It's something absolutely anybody can get their hands on. I know when I was right at the beginning, kind of like, I'm a PR consultant. And I think when I very first started to kind of just do that, I was so scared to ring people. I was like, they're never going to give me this list, they're never going to talk to me. And they did, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And sometimes, often you don't even need to ring anybody. If it's a really popular magazine, they'll probably just have it on their website already. So you don't even need to make that initial call to get it. So maybe that could, if people are interested in it, you know, if you go on the really, really, really big magazines in your industry and just have a look at their list and just see what it's all about, and then you'll know what you're talking about when you talk to other editors or other publications.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, I'm having a look. I think we've scooped up some of the questions here. Obviously, I'll keep checking the Facebook page, and we'll be in our Business Rocks Academy group, which people can check out if they want to come along and have a look at the Business Rocks website, which is www.businessrocks.co/academy. Come and find us, and there will be a replay for all of those that are signed up. And as you mentioned earlier, it's very difficult to get the time right, because obviously it's now nearly 9 o'clock in the evening in the UK, but for many people it's middle of the day, school run time in the US. So I really want to thank you, Kerri, for all your generous information tonight. It's been an absolute delight sharing you and finding out more about what you've got coming in the few weeks to come. So I'm going to close the call now, but I'd like to thank everybody, and thank you, Kerri.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
And I will put the replay up for everyone to watch tomorrow. So thank you, Kerri, and we will catch up again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.